Do you trust me?
Implicitly.
This was a set built in San Francisco on a soundstage. The entire restaurant set was built.
Great choice.
This is a tightly written scene. Everything about it is on the page. But certain scenes call for improvisation. The scene that I described with Bill in the cab of the truck, improvising the yes, no, yes, no, yes. I love Italian and so do you was wonderful for improvisation. The scene on the street where Chekhov is asking people about nuclear vessels was totally improvised. I said to he and Michelle, we're going to send you people, just keep asking them where the ships are. And I said to Walter, we need to hear you say nuclear vessels. Where are the nuclear vessels? That's the joke of the scene. And the rest took care of itself. So in certain situations, it plays well to improvise. But in a scene like this is tightly scripted.
But we'll tag them with radio transmitters on a special frequency so that we can keep tabs on them.
Tricky scene. Getting to know you, getting to trust you, getting some information. Who are you? Who are you really? Well, I can't tell you. I'm from Idaho. I'm from outer space. I'm not from outer space. I only work in outer space.
Go to San Francisco without a lift.
You have such a low opinion of my abilities. How come we're here having dinner?
Sucker for hard luck cases. Cheers. Besides, I want to know why you travel around with that ditzy guy who knows
The
he's pregnant.
passage of time is a sore subject with me in that seeing yourself on film from very young to old, and
Where could you take them?
each film is a demarcation of some
Place as
loss of some kind. It's hard to look and not remember what was. So I'm looking at myself here, and there's been a passage of time since the movie was filmed. What else has gone, you know?
So you see
And
that as they say is that.
I remember I wanted to, as it's been said, it was a subtle scene, and I wanted to do something here perhaps more improvisational, but I thought maybe I was too careful. Ultimately, I think I was too careful in this scene.
What is it? I thought I told you.
There is a line between improvisation and the necessity of saying the words that have been written and go through the progressions of what needs to be done for the story. On top of that, there is an application of something else, some other reality. It's hard to put into words that the actor can bring. Sometimes at your best, it has an improvisation. It's almost this escaping out of you. And when you hit that, where it's almost a surprise to you, the actor, as it is to you, the audience, it's like archery, where the ideal time to loose the arrow is when it surprises you, or the time to take a shot with a rifle is you're on the hair trigger, and the rifle suddenly is pressed by breath almost. And so these lines, so an actor should breathe the words out, and they happen almost inadvertently. If you can achieve that, the inadvertency of the artistic inadvertency, you've gotten to the peak of what an actor does. I'm always looking for that.
Just say so. I mean, why all the coy disguises?
To relate it even more closely, it's like this conversation. It's like what I'm saying now. I'm not quite sure of what's coming out of my mouth. When I hear it, I know it's right or it needs correcting. What I really mean to say is. So when I hear it, I know it's either right or wrong, and that's the way it should be as an actor with his lines. Only the lines have been written, and so you know it's right. But it should have that, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I meant to say. Or it isn't.
Are we leaving?
Come on.
I struggled with this scene. It's a long scene, a long dialogue scene, and therefore questionable. You know, could it be shortened? Or is it extraneous? Is there something about it that we could punch up in some way? And I think what I was thinking probably was similar to what Bill was thinking is, are we missing something here? Is there some way to approach this scene to give it more of a sense of drama, a sense of electricity of some kind? It seemed like a dangerous scene to me. I was worried about it. I thought they're both charming. They're both doing exactly what's called for. They're both playing it intelligently and sincerely. And he has, of course, a secret in the scene. So does she. He wants her to reveal her secret. She's trying to explore his. They're both covering to a certain extent. He's hiding the fact that he really is. He's alluding to the fact that he's a spaceman, a space traveler, but trying to do it in such a way so as not to totally alarm her and drive her away because he has information he needs. It's a tough scene. And at some point I thought to myself, we've just got to trust that the story, the movie needs this scene, needs these things to happen between these two people.
As a director, that's a difficult choice in a motion picture. By its very nature, needs motion. And when you come to rest, and I'm thinking of the other night, you dwell on a scene that are words and thoughts, and your hope is, both as the director and as the observer, that the audience will stay with it, so that the action in the scene is the thought progression, and not the camera moving and editing and music and all the magic that you can bring to bear. Will the words hold? And after you've seen it 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, you're thinking, I don't know whether the words are holding. And so you go to and then it's in the movie, and now it's permanently in the movie. And somebody comes along and says, I would trim a little out of that, out of that scene. Oh, that's my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So you might place that scene rather than a restaurant walking, or the bad guy chasing you, or intercut something else happening in another scene that's ominous, so that it lends a sense of import to the scene you're playing.
Right.
But if the plot is working and if the characters are working, that's frequently not necessary. But